Hi there, I'm X King. Welcome back to another episode of Monday Night Movie. Today I'm taking a look at City Island. City Island was directed by Raymond D. Felitta. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. And was released on March 19th, 2010. The film made $8 million on a budget of $6 million and was generally favorable among critics. The film focuses on the Rizzo family, featuring Vince, who's the father of the family, played by Andy Garcia, um, Joyce, the mother of the family, played by Julian Margolis. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. Vivian, the daughter of the family, played by the real life daughter of Andy Garcia, Dominique Garcia. And Vince Jr., played by Ezra Miller. This is a Italian American family who are all keeping secrets from one another. Vince Jr. is hiding the fact that he has a things for women of the heavier set variety. Um, Dominique is hiding the fact that she got kicked out of school and has become a stripper. And Vince is hiding the fact that he's taking acting classes. They're also all hiding the fact that they all smoke, which adds another layer of comedy. Things get even more complicated when Vince meets Tony, a prisoner at the prison where Vince works, and Vince quickly realizes that Tony, played by Stephen Strait, is his son that he abandoned before he was born. Um, this causes Vince to get Tony released into his custody without explaining to Tony that he is his father, and bring him to his home without talking to his family first and explaining who Tony is. This causes more chaos, more comedy, and the secrets to start to slowly come to light as each of them start to confide within Tony the various secrets that they hold. This all comes to a head at the end, and the film is honestly really good. I really enjoyed the story and the pacing that this film has going for it. The comedy works really well, and the relationship between the characters is conveyed really well as well. I enjoy what this film is going for. It's trying to convey that you really shouldn't be keeping secrets from your family just because you think you know how they'll react. In doing so, you're causing more tension and chaos, and sometimes it's even unnecessary tension because when all the secrets do finally come to light, the family doesn't break apart, they actually come closer together. This film is really smart with its comedy, its dialogue, and its pacing and the way it conveys its message. And I really do enjoy the take this film has for the dysfunctional family comedy. It's not the most unique story. There are other dysfunctional family comedies that have similar plots and themes, but I do think the film execution works for what it's trying to do, and it shows each character's story equally, so that way you can get to know them and the tension between them is understandable. The only story that's secret that doesn't really add anything to the story is the story that Vince Jr. has of having a thing for heavier set women because it doesn't add anything to the climax, so it does feel a little superfluous and unnecessary. But at the end of the day, I do enjoy the story, so I'm going to give the story a 7 out of 10. The characters in a film like this have to be really good. They have to be three dimensional and have to be relatable. And I am happy to report this film does that really well. All the characters are developed perfectly for a film like this. They're all relatable. They are all written really well. They're all three dimensional. And that's really good. If I had to have a slight complaint on the matter, it would probably be, again, the use of Vince Jr.'s story and how they don't really use it to add anything to the overall arcing story. But again, I think that's a minor nitpick, so I'm going to give the characters an 8 out of 10. Then we have the performances, and everyone's doing a great job. You have to believe that this is a family, and they all feel like real family. They feel like they've been family forever and they all bounce off each other really well. And I really enjoyed that. They all have good chemistry. They bring each their own unique spin to these characters, and I really enjoy that. If I had to find a minor nitpick, it would be that when our main character starts to break down at the end, I don't feel emotionally connected at that point to feel those same types of emotions that he is feeling. But I do enjoy the performances overall. So I'm going to give the performances an 8 out of 10. Then we have the visual style, and that is, again, really good. A film like this has a simple visual style, but in the case of Raymond De Felitta, he actually adds a lot of small little flares that aren't necessary, but do add small little things to the film. Like the dinner scenes, the first dinner scene, the camera's kind of stationary, but the second one, it starts to bounce as the tension rises and the characters start bouncing off each other verbally, and it works really well. And then they have like the final scene take place as a dead end street because it's the end of the film, and then there's some brilliant scenery shots in the distance. And this is all helped by the fact that they shot on the real City Island. For those of you who don't know, that's a neighborhood in the Bronx, and that works really well for the film. And I really think that though the visuals aren't stunning, they are wonderfully subtle enough that if you rewatch the film, you will notice certain things that I don't think you noticed before. So I'm going to give the visual style an overall 7 out of 10. Then we have the score, and the score here is fine. This combines an original orchestral score with borrowed songs, and if you know anything about me, you know I prefer original orchestral scores to borrowed songs, but the movie uses them decently enough that they're not really noticeable, and the original score that they do use is paced well enough for a film like this. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give the music a 7 out of 10. My final verdict on this film is a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed myself here. I think this film is pretty much what I was hoping it would be. I love dysfunctional family comedies, and it's really is hard to do something new with this genre. But the performances and characters are all really good, and I do feel like if you are looking for a relatable dysfunctional family comedy, this is a film you want to check out because I do think it does everything it needs to really well. Anyway, that's what I thought about City Island. What did you think about it if you've seen it? Let me know in the comments below. And next time, I will be taking a look at Thin Ice. See you then.